All right, folks, buckle up. Next one, OpenSea gets a Wells notice from the SEC. So, Kyle, we've been talking about whether NFTs are securities now for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years. I
Quite
don't know
some
if we can
time.
pick a date. It's been a little while. And, we talked about before on a previous episode of Block and Order that there's been the stoner cats and the impact theory actions the SEC brought, really picking on people that didn't have the ability to fight back and getting, as we were just talking about, an order on the record saying that, we did an enforcement action against NFTs. These companies are offering securities. We just had on, Song a Day guy, Jonathan Mann and Brian Fry, who are suing the SEC saying, we don't know if what we're offering is NFTs are securities or not. Um, and here we go. I think this is probably what we've been asking for. It's like, well, if you're going to go after someone that can actually fight back.
Yeah.
Go after someone that's actually making a market in NFTs as securities. So, like, the premise that they are securities thing is ridiculous, but at least they're targeting now the right person. OpenSea CEO Devin Finzer expressed surprise and concern and emphasized all the negative impact on creators and artists, which I completely agree with. They've also pledged $5 million to support other NFT creators. And look, OpenSea is going to challenge us. So,
Yeah.
Kyle, where do you think it goes from here?
Uh, I mean, look, they're going to challenge it, and I do think that this one will go away just because of the kind of ridiculousness of it. I mean, OpenSea is not an issuer, for something to be classified as a security and falling under the purview of the SEC's watch. It has to be an investment contract. The OpenSea is not offering anything. They're just a platform. It's the issuers who are offering. There's no common enterprise. There's no, expectation of profit derived from OpenSea's efforts. I think that just the argument falls flat on its face. But what's interesting for me is I'm curious as to why now. And why not a couple years ago when OpenSea was the only ticket? I mean, they had north of 90% market share. Today they're at 20%. I think it's even under that. I don't understand why they would do this right now and not go after Blur or Magic Eden or OKX or Tensor or any of the other ones, but they only went after them. That's kind of baffling to me. What I do think is part of the reason why they're doing this is, instead of death by 1,000 cuts and suing 1,000 other impact theories and stoner cats out there, they could just go after OpenSea, and it kind of kneecaps all of these other issuers who are relying on these secondary sales to keep their boats floating.
Yeah, I mean, it does strike me as kind of kicking them while they're down already.
Right.
There are other marketplaces. Maybe they are going after them, but we haven't heard about it. Um, I do think it is kind of this broader concern, though, about like, well, this is what we were talking about with Brian and Jonathan on our last interview, which is like, well, the SEC is now regulating the art market. Like, when did they get
Yeah.
congressional authorization to do that?
Right.
Why are they have anything to do with the art market? And so, I think there is an argument that some NFTs that are trading on OpenSea are something different than like art. But I think a lot of what this is art and collectibles.
Yeah.
And I just think there has to be a better explanation for why this is happening. And as you, I think, really aptly state, like, why is this happening now in 2020, at the end of 2024, and not, if they thought this was an issue in earnest,
Right.
they had the information to call that out in 2021.
And also, not to go too far over on time, what we've seen in the various dissents and decisions and, people who have been responding to these cases over the past year, what is a security? If these things are going to be securities, then me going to a baseball card show and buying baseball cards, guess what? Those are now securities. And USCC have said that those are not. So, square that for me. I don't understand that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and there's
It
like
doesn't make any
art
sense.
auction websites, and there's eBay, and there's like, well, where do you draw the line?
Right. I go buy something on eBay. I just bought a security. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Nonsense.